Hello, y'all. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike. I'm not an investing guru. I'm an average guy sharing my investment journey on the internet. And in today's video, we're going to discuss how much SCHD and SCHY paid me in Q3 2023 in my Roth IRA. First thing, portfolio value, $34,247.09. My overall gain is about $5,300. This is not the most accurate gain here, but we'll go to a different spreadsheet later on and I'll show you what my real gain is here. And just one of the biggest takeaways here is that if you see throughout my entire time investing, I've been slowly contributing about $100, $125 every single week. And you can tell that my total account value has been uptrending. You know, there's ups and downs, but ultimately in the end, if you dollar cost average into a great fund, you are going to get returns. You look at the 1 year, this is kind of what the returns, about $1,000 in dividends. And let's see how much SCHD and SCHY paid out. So September 25th, 2023, SCHD paid me $249.81. Unfortunately, SCHY only pays out twice a year, and they pay out in June and in December. So unfortunately, SCHY does not pay out in the third quarter. SCHD does pay out in September, and there will also be a payment in December. But right now, this is the only payment that I got. And then going into my funding history, I've been funding my Roth IRA since 2019. So you can see I've been fully maxing each year out to the best of my ability. And in 2023, I've been putting away $125 every single week, which will equate to $6,500. Now, switching over to my other spreadsheet that has more accurate data on it, you can see that at which point was it here? Here in June, and that's kind of where I switched over to my two-fund portfolio. I set up my Roth IRA to have 60% SCHD or 60% US and then 40% international, which is SCHY. I did this because the United States is not the only developed country in the world. And I believe that with the same principles that SCHD uses for US companies, that SCHY will do the exact same thing. You know, ideally we're looking for decent return as well as quite good dividend growth. So I think 60-40 is a good split. I used to have 80-20, as you can see here, my actual versus target. So my SCHD is about 77% and my SCHY is 22%. But at some point, this will be 60-40. And that's what my end goal is here. So you see here, when I mentioned earlier that in June, SCHD and SCHY both paid out. So you can see that there's a much higher payment. Whereas over here, only SCHD paid out in Q3. Now, looking over my metrics, so let's start total invested. So we're at $29,000 right now. That's the total market value. And this is the total dividends that I have recorded since January 2020. There is a little period of time where I didn't account for, like maybe a couple months prior. So you'll notice that there's a little bit of a discrepancy between this number as well as what this number is here. So, I mean, it's about, I don't know, $11 difference. And this is my total market appreciation. And over here, you can see that in 2023, we've got paid $960, which is about a 3% yield so far. So far, so good. You know, end goal is here to make sure that every single year you have a much higher dividend as well as that dividend growing. Looking at these other metrics here. Okay, so I have ran a calculation of what my cumulative return is with dividends. And that cumulative return is about 18.9%, which is actually pretty dismal knowing that I've been investing about 5 years in this fund. So my total return is about 3.62% every single year. Now, the interesting statistic that, you know, we're all dividend investors here. This is why I invest dividends in a Roth. 55% of this return is from dividends. I think that's a pretty crazy number. Had I not invested in this dividends, this is what my numbers would be. So my cumulative return would have been 8% over 5 years, which is dismal. And then yearly return without dividends, 1.63%. I mean, you could have put money into a checking account and gotten much higher return than that. So, you know, it's just an interesting time to invest because in 2020, I've increased the amount of money I've put into, but the actual holdings themselves have not increased. Now, this is the power of like compound interest and dividend investing, is that these are the early stages, but in 5 more years or 10 more years or 15 years, that's when we'll see that dividend grow and then reinvest back in and then grow even further, especially since my dividend investing is in a Roth IRA. And with the dividend payments, it just compounds more because none of it's taxed. So just very interesting things to talk about. But I just want to show you guys what my payouts were in Q3 and kind of my performance. Obviously, there's some room for improvement, but the thing is, we're not timing the market here. We're just putting in that money every single week, $125. You can see that it is trending up over time. The gains will come, especially if we're investing in high quality ETFs. All right. Well, I hope you all have a good one and have a great day.